Hey, good afternoon, folks. How is it? I hope everybody's doing good. I hope the new year is still working on a high note for everybody. This is your man. It's Adolphus AD Moore, and you're welcoming you back on the corner for the new year and everything. And as the NFL regular season comes to a close, your Houston Texans closed out the season with a loss to the Tennessee Titans, who locked up the number one seed for the AFC top spot, and they get a week bye by defeating the Texans today, 28-24. In fact, I thought that this game started out to be a rout. Well, in fact, I'm not going to say it started out to be a rout. It was sort of like slow going back and forth. And it's not like, say, two fighters trying to feel each other out, because, both teams have been well acquainted with one another. So, but that being said, the Texans went down to the Tennessee Titans today, as I stated, locked up the number one seed. But not going to waste a whole lot of time on the Texans today. Their season is over. Let me go. I'm going to state this up front. Should David Culley be fired? No. Period. That's it. And we can discuss that later. But right now, I'm getting ready to bring on the dynamic duel of all the way from Western New York, George Radney and the Mighty Oba, Dr. Pat Freeman. Here are the guys. There they are, all the way from Western New York. What's up, guys?
How we doing?
Oh, we doing
wonderful,
great, man. It's doing great. Hey, y'all in the playoffs, man. I wanted to talk to somebody. I want to talk to somebody know how the team is in the playoffs, man. How does it feel, man? That's why one thing I'm on. Hey, bringing y'all guys on Pro Talk Plus, on the Beat 105.5 every Saturday morning. These two gentlemen sit there and they help increase your financial earnings, from what I understand. Now, I'm not too sure. They just because they don't look prosperous don't mean they're not banking gold or cryptocurrency. I'm not sure what are y'all trading cryptocurrency now too, guys? Or y'all just still dealing in God we trust?
No, in God we trust right now. I'm not. But Pat, the Mighty Oba, he's crypto. I'm still old school. And if you follow me today, I'm red hot today. I've only had one game right now that's a loser, possibly, and that's the Rams. Stafford, he still plays like he's with the Lions. He think he's still with the Detroit Lions. He done gave the game away to the 49ers. Unbelievable.
Well, I mean, come on. I mean, these guys are who they say they are.
Yeah.
What the Maya Angelou has been stating this over and over and over. They are who they say they are. And you would have thought, and when I say, I got a chance to see Stafford when the Rams came in town to play the Texans, and yeah, he great arm, does a lot of things, but do you just have that, that gut feeling? Is this the guy who can take them all away? Is this the guy who can be in SoFi Stadium on February 13th, representing the NFC? Can he go up against Aaron Rodgers? I mean, what do you guys? Is this the guy who can go up against Aaron Rodgers and beat him in Lambeau Field?
No.
Let me say it with reverence. Lambeau Field. Is that the one who can go up there and do it?
He can't beat Davis Mills, the quarterback of the quarterback. He can't beat Davis Mills, the quarterback of the Houston Texans, because this guy, when the pressure comes on him, he has all the talent on the field. He holds the ball way too long. The way he was holding the ball today, I was like, "Are you serious, man? You got to dump that ball to the running backs, hit Odell. I mean, he got all the talent. He was talking about get 12 receptions. He lucky he got 2 receptions today.
Hey man, I'm gonna be candid with you. I was surprised, man, because I was watching the game, West Coast, and all of a sudden I look up and they had a commanding lead. Next thing I know, the game is tied, and I'm sort of going like, because I was watching the Ravens and the Steelers. And the Steelers are still needing some help to get there. But at least they went out there and put their seal of approval on. We can't get to the playoffs, but I'm just sort of wondering. But you know what, hey guys, all right, let's take your team. What chance do y'all give the Buffalo Bills? How far can they go?
Which one of us you talking to?
Go ahead, Mighty Oba. You can start off on it.
Oh, they can beat any team left. Any team. I mean, they've got a good defense. They've got a good offense. I don't trust the offensive coordinator. He, like today, I think George had mentioned to the head coach last week, are we going to see some combinations of Breida, Devin Singletary, and Isaiah McKenzie? And he got giddy. They were all active today, but I don't think they listened to you. And he got away from the run again on a windy day for 2.5 quarters and made this game interesting for some odd reason. Jets aren't a good team. I mean, Zach Wilson is a pathetic quarterback right now.
Yes.
He holds the ball way too long. And, I think the Bills, though, getting to them in the playoffs, if you look at all the teams, the ones that can run the football will give the Bills the worst problem. And Tennessee gives them a problem. Kansas City could give them a problem because Kansas City has the ability to be a physical run team if they need be, and they have the weapons on offense to utilize that play action ability that could hurt the Bills. So Kansas City could be a problem, even though the Bills beat them convincingly earlier in the year. But the Bills could beat any team left.
George? Yes, indeed. Yes, and the problem right now I'm seeing is Brian DeBoer, when the Bills get into trouble, he reverts back to Josh Allen. He did not dump off the ball to screen passes to Devin Singletary or Isaiah McKenzie. And then he put Matt Breida on the bench. He didn't even really play him in the second half.
He didn't even use him.
He didn't even use him. What kind of coach? I mean, this guy's he's not very good. He's not a good offensive coordinator because Matt Breida, they should have threw some screen passes to Matt Breida instead of Singletary because Breida is a little bit more explosive. Let Breida get the ball in open space, and he would have taken off. Devin Singletary did well. He picked up some first downs. But give a guy who's a home run hitter. Because Matt Breida, just because he mishandled the opening kickoff, he's not, he fumbles the ball, but you got to put the ball in his hands in the right situations, in space, and give him the space, and he'll be able to take off and score without anybody touching him, so he won't have a chance to fumble the ball.
Okay, guys, let me ask this question. You mentioned this guy, Breida, but here's the thing. You know how coaches get when they get to the playoffs. They change. They come into a different mindset. If a guy has been known to fumble in the regular season, they have a tendency that, don't even think about it. If he looks like he's going to fumble, they will stick him so far on the bench and forget to use it. So, I mean, is this the situation you're talking about with the Bills now, Mighty Oba?
Yeah, it could be, but they haven't used any of those guys enough to draw any conclusion on whether they have fumbleitis. I think it's been the poor play selection by Brian Dable throughout the season. It's too much, like Radman said, a little too much Josh Allen,
A little too much?
A little too much. And when I mean running the ball, throwing the ball too much, not integrating the run game. The run game will help you with play action. I think Radman can testify to this, is that during the second half of the season, Josh Allen's completion percentage has gone down. He had trouble today because he needed, he was just hurling the ball out there in the wind, and some of those balls were just uncatchable. You just can't throw missiles at people and think they're going to catch it. So, Josh Allen, I think the problem is more Brian Dable. I think Josh Allen has improved enough that this team could beat anybody left, but they could also lose to anybody left easily.
Hey, George, Radman, I've followed you now. During the course of the season, when we sitting at the games, we've watched, and I'm sitting there. I almost thought you was at church for a while, man. Every time I look up, run the ball. You almost became a repeating song, man. And they ran the ball, but when you start making Josh Allen your focal point of your running game, I don't think you really. That's not smart science, as far as I'm concerned, man.
No, because in today, whenever they get into trouble with the running game, Josh Allen in the second half of today's game against the Jets, he started running the ball. Next thing you know, Josh Allen has 55 rushing yards because he's taken off they'd see that, and they didn't have anybody to account for him. He took off and he was picking up big yards. But the problem is they're not calling the proper plays, and that's Brian Daboll's fault. If he would dump it off to Breida, do some reverses. They didn't do any reverses or fake jet sweeps to Isaiah McKenzie. Those three guys are very explosive. Those three guys by themselves could carry the offense without Diggs or the other guys. If those guys weren't out there, that's how powerful these guys are. And correct me if I'm wrong, AD. You were at the Super Bowl in Miami with the San Francisco 49ers playing the Kansas City Chiefs, correct? You were at that one.
No, I wasn't there.
You wasn't at that one?
No, I wasn't there.
Matt Breida, if you give him the ball on the power sweep, he can take the ball on the sweep, and he was killing KC in the first half of that game.
Right.
You got to give him the ball in the power sweep mode. The Bills just haven't put Matt Breida in the best position possible to make some positive yards.
Okay, hey guys, let me pose this question to you, Radman starting. How many games? I mean, the likelihood. I know we know how the two number one seeds been locked up. We already know that, and the seeding is still some seeding. Who's gonna play when or what. No, and I've seen a couple of bad instances how the weather can be up in Western New York. Get them that? Can somebody come in there and duplicate what the Patriots done to the Bills and just ram the ball down their throat and just leave a bunch of folks disappointed?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's the linchpin of this team is if you play physical, old-fashioned football against them, you will be successful. And it looks like it's going to be either the Raiders or the Chargers coming into Western New York. Pittsburgh will probably have to play the Chiefs unless there's a tie.
Right.
If there's a tie, things go into a flux.
Right.
But the chances of it ending in a tie is either going to be the Chargers or the Raiders coming into Western New York and the Bills hosting them in the first round. Hopefully, it won't be on a Monday night.
Right.
Because whoever designed where that stadium is, as you well know, it is not good for night games.
No.
We'll be out there until 2 a.m.
3, yeah, we get home about 3 a.m.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's the all right? To me, guys, both of them are West Coast teams. Which one of them matches up better as far as the Bills are concerned? I mean, do the Raiders present a bigger challenge, or is it the Chargers? And the reason I'm saying, and I'll be quite candid with you, I've seen them both. I got you, and I'm just quite. If they have to come up to Western New York and play, if they have to play on a Monday night, I think the elements going to work against them, man. I mean, let's face it. You bringing a West Coast team, 5 hours of difference, and then y'all throw them in that element up there, man. Come on, you guys might like it, but I mean, I don't see no West Coast team loving to want to come to Western New York now.
Go ahead, Redmond.
No, not at all. With a 1 o'clock game, if it's a 1 o'clock game, that means it's a 10 a.m. start for the West Coast team. The Raiders, they have the running game, Josh. They have a few running backs. Their wide receivers are out. The Bills could definitely beat the Raiders a lot easier than I think they could beat the Chargers, because the Chargers have some tall Mike Williams. Those guys are tall. Levi Wallace and the rest, and Dane Jackson. Those guys are smaller defensive backs. They're good defensive backs, but I think the Chargers would pose a much tougher opportunity but the Bills should be able to run the ball against their defense.
Now, that's just if they run the ball. That's the problem.
Right. If they,
Brian Daboll just refuses to run the football. I mean, he's done this ever since he's been the offense coordinator in Buffalo. Both teams, I think, coming to Buffalo. Everybody always talks about the advantage, and we were talking about this the other day, Radman and myself. The majority of these players are not from the North. I don't care who it is.
Right.
The Bills are all Southern players. They don't want to play in this mess. Stephon Diggs got his car stuck on Clinton Street trying to drive a Ferrari in the snow. So that tells you players are from Texas, man. They're from your home. You know that. Stephon Diggs is from Texas. You don't know nothing about snow. I mean, they can play. It's like kids. They're going to play in it.
He should know it. He played for Minneapolis. I'm shocked that.
Yeah, but they was indoors, man. Come on.
But driving, he should know. Minneapolis is cold.
Yeah,
he got his car stuck on Clinton, man.
He should put
a Ferrari. He's got a Ferrari. He wasn't even driving. He had loaned it to somebody, and they got stuck on Clinton. What's wrong with these guys?
Yeah, he needed to send that car back to California or Florida, wherever he practices at during the offseason, and get him a 4-wheel drive up here.
His mama's one of them old school Texas mamas. He's gonna get a whooping. I'm telling you right now. She don't play.
Hey guys,
what are you doing allowing somebody to drive your Ferrari in 18 inches of snow?
I don't see. Hey man, I don't see why all them guys don't put their nice cars up and go get them a nice big 4-wheeler.
That's what they do. Most of them drive SUVs. Dude, don't nobody drive a Ferrari in the winter in Buffalo.
No, not after September. They put those away, man.
That's the car you bring out after the snow is gone.
In May.
A low riding
May.
car.
How about late May? Hey guys, let's jump to the other side. Let's jump to the other side of the ball. And needless to say, I want to start with the Houston, the Cougar, Ed Oliver. I've seen y'all. Somebody's finally starting listening and moving Ed around a little bit. Defensively, can this defense take y'all to SoFi?
Yeah, best defense, best all-round defense in football. But there is personnel weaknesses that can be exploited by any team.
Okay.
Their front four, Ed has had a great season, don't get me wrong.
Right.
But other than Ed, they're very, very small. Ed's small for a defensive front guy. Your two defensive ends are small. Greg Rousseau, he's young, long. He's had a decent rookie campaign. Boogie Basham, decent rookie campaign. Harrison Phillips has come on very well, but Star Lotulelei, I think, is average at best. Teams that have been successful against the Bills have been able to run right at them, and that's going to be a problem. I think either one of these teams, with the right game plan, could give the Bills a problem. Remember, today, Indianapolis got blown out by Jacksonville.
Yeah.
They came into the stadium with the right game plan. They beat the Bills 41-15. I mean, they ran the football right at them. And
that was
that's
Indianapolis.
the formula for beating the team. They controlled the clock. Josh Allen can't hurt you watching the game.
Oh no. The like I said, the best defense for explosive offense. Let them sit on the sideline and watch your offense go up and down the field. A good ball control, because it's put it like this: first down, if you pick up 4 yards, you open up the playbook to any. I mean, some of the weakest offensive coordinators out here. If you get first down, if you can pick up 4 yards, boy, you have really just expanded the playbook on what they want to do to you moving forward. Because I mean, that's the situation. And the rest of the potential teams, AFC wise, guys, Mighty Oba, what are you thinking? I mean, I think we hit the Bills. We'll come back to them. What are your thought processes on the rest of the teams, AFC potential? Because I know there's still everything is not locked down yet.
Well, number 1 is Tennessee.
Right.
Number two is Kansas City.
Right. That's
it looks like the Bills are going to be number 3. And it looks like Cincinnati's going to be 4. It looks like New England will be probably 5, yeah. And 6 would be either the Chargers or the Raiders. And then 7 is going to end up being Pittsburgh, unless they end up in a tie tonight. Right. Then they're going to have to go to another tiebreaker and figure out who's in the playoffs. But it looks like Pittsburgh will be 7. The Raiders and the Chargers will figure out who's 6. Mm-hmm. And New England should be 5. 4 should be Cincinnati. 3 should be Buffalo. 2 would be the Kansas City Chiefs. Tennessee has the bye.
Tennessee
Huh?
Good. No, I was about to interject something. Tennessee has to buy. Everybody is, and I got in this discussion today up in the press box. Everybody's thinking, all right, that, and for a little bit there, I thought Tennessee didn't really grasp the fact of having that extra week off if they trying to get Derrick Henry back, because the second half they sort of put it on cruise control, and the Texas almost sit there and made them think, y'all can keep doing this if you want to. But say we don't mind walking out of here being 5-12, as opposed to being 4-13. I mean, not that it's going, big shakes or anything, but my personal thoughts. I'm not sure Derrick Henry going to be that ace in the hole that the Titans think they're going to have with him coming back, even with that extra week off. Your thoughts, Radman, then Mighty Oba.
Well, I think definitely when he comes back, he has an extra week off now, which is really. It's helpful for the team, but I think it's detrimental to him because running backs like to get hit and feel that contact. And I think if he doesn't do well at the beginning of the game, it's going to take maybe 2 games for him to get himself going at the level that even come close to the level that he was when he was injured. I think it's going to take a while. If whoever they play in that first game, they're going to have to jump on him, put 9 in the box, and force them to throw the ball and stop him early, because he's going to be rusty. Basically, he's going to be rusty. He hasn't been hit. I think that'll be a detriment to Tennessee. But the Tennessee defense is playing so much better. It's going to be a good game, no matter who Tennessee has to face in their first game after the bye week.
Yeah, Mighty Oba.
Well, I agree. I agree with y'all with that. But Tennessee's other 2 running backs have played fairly well. Mm-hmm. So I think the rest at any point. The biggest thing is that with him in the lineup, whether he's full go or not, you're going to have to account for him. And that means that Ryan Tannehill will have play action. And that helps him a lot. He's got Julio Jones back. So they're going to be getting back some people. They have a very, very physical defense.
Yes.
Ask Deion Dawkins how physical
well,
they are.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you something. They got a nasty 1-2 punch with Foreman and Hilliard. The Titans. I mean, if everybody knows Derrick Henry is the hammer, we all understand that. But guys, I'm gonna tell you something.
Decent, yeah.
No, decent. Foreman, if he runs anywhere like he was running today, with that extra week off, and if things, I think Mike Drabel is probably sitting there with a nice compliment, because with those 3 running backs, and if they, as y'all already mentioned, the fact that the Titans got a defense that will just knock snot from you. They'll knock the snot from you, man. So and they can be home all the way. They very well. I'm looking at these guys and I'm going like, okay, you mess up if you want to. Drabel could be at SoFi like with going up against maybe Brady, or and since I mentioned the Brady, let's jump over to the NFC side, guys.
Okay.
I know everything goes through Lambeau. We all understand that. What's your one team, Mighty Oba, that can go walk into Lambeau and disappoint everybody?
Oh my goodness. I think it's Tampa Bay. I think Brady doesn't care where he plays. He's already done it.
Mm-hmm.
And if they can get halfway a little bit more healthier, during the course of the playoffs, I think Tampa Bay is still the team to beat in the NFC.
Really?
I still think that way. And
okay.
I think as long as you can have Mike Evans, got Gronk. Obviously, you can live without AB. And
I wasn't gonna bring AB up, man. I was gonna try to. No, seriously. And I wasn't really going to, because there are some issues there, and I think that's for another show, man. All by itself, right? Because there are some other intrinsic factors that it's easy for us to take shots at him or anybody to take shots at him. But there's some other things that has transpired in this country that if we want to go off the high diving board on him, we should have already been walking around with our hair on fire with some other things that transpired in this country. But be that as it may, Radman, what's your thought process? Somebody who, other than the Packers coming out of there and Aaron Rodgers' swan song, if he can get to SoFi.
The problem with facing AD, the greed of the owners by adding that 7th team, you're adding teams that some cases they don't deserve to be in the playoffs. But now it looks like the New Orleans Saints are going to get in there. If the Saints get in, because the 49ers did defeat the Rams, and the Rams, they just haven't been in sync to me. Stafford is who he is, where he was in Detroit. He's the same guy. And under pressure, he turns over the ball. New Orleans Saints could actually win a couple games if they get in. And the Arizona Cardinals got blown out by Seattle this afternoon. Arizona without DeAndre Hopkins is not a playoff team. With Hopkins, they are a playoff team. So some of these teams higher seeds are going to get knocked off. And it's going to end up coming down to possibly Dallas and Green Bay. And Green Bay having the home field should be able to win this one this year. The way it's starting to shape up. Because you have teams in it. It's too many teams in the playoffs, if you ask me. Way too many.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up, man. All right, and George, since you brought the issue up, well, you don't like the expanding playoff, and you just like the number 1 seed getting the bye, or did you think the number 1 and 1 but 2 seed should have gotten the bye, and then just like they used to have with the with the playoffs, how the way previous years, now with that 7th with that extra week in there, why? What is it about you don't like? And then Mighty Oba, your comments.
You need the top 2 seeds, unless it's a truly dominant team. And each year, it's not really a totally dominant team. And the Tampa Bay last year was very dominant, but still, you should have 2 teams having the first week off. They deserve the first week off. And on top of it, it's a slap in the face to the players. You'd have added a 17th game. You'd have added more games and less time off, and you got to play more. So I don't know why the players voted for this. The NFL PA, you got to go back to DeMaurice Smith, who I think should be fired from his job for allowing the vote. They even agree to some nonsense like this, where the players are working now twice as hard as they used to make the same money. Or now they spread out the paychecks, 36 weeks now?
36 weeks.
Some people don't even get paid until the 36th week. Are you kidding me? Man, come on, DeMaurice. Hey, it's time to see the door, man. You like Gene Upshaw now. You done went to the other side.
Mighty Oba?
It's nothing but a money grab. I haven't talked to any professional player that's for playing more games. And I just think it's a travesty. You care nothing about the health and welfare of these players. No. And I just think the expanded playoff is ridiculous. It's just money. I mean, the amount of money each owner gets an additional $17.9 million per game, extra game for the for the game added. And while the players they're just getting a 1/3, they're getting their paychecks are broken up into 36 payments now.
Yeah, I mean, you lost as far as I'm concerned, they really lost the paycheck.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. They lost. And I guess the thing, and the thing about it, Brady has been making noises about this for the last several weeks.
Right.
But the thing about it, I'm like y'all guys, I'm going like, so what did they get out of this now? And tell me if I'm wrong, but my understanding, this 17th week, they were supposed to, and this is excluding COVID, they were supposed to be able to move players in and out to give them an extra week off. Did I not misunderstand that adding that extra game in there? That they was able to furlough some guys in or out? Was that not the initial plan?
No. All they did was cut out a preseason game.
Yeah.
Moved the preseason game into the regular season. Then you used to get 17 paychecks.
Right.
Now you're getting 36 paychecks. So you're not even getting paid for the extra game today.
No.
You basically getting half of what you normally be getting. So you're not getting anything, if you really think about it. You used to get 17 paychecks, and now you're getting 36. The owners are getting 17.9 million per game money just on broadcasting. And then the 60-40 split of the game. What are you getting? Nothing.
Speaking of owner, guys, since I got you here,
that's a ripoff right there. That's a highway robbery right there.
Speaking of owners, I want to touch on this because I this is a conversation I had today with the fact that the Stan Kroenke and the Rams have settled, at least quote unquote, sell almost an $800 million settlement with St. Louis because of breaking that contract to move to Los Angeles. Now, and y'all can just jump in here. My understanding that Kroenke said initially that he was going to handle all this. He was going to take care of this. And the rest of the owners, because they was all going to sit back. And then all of a sudden, Kroenke, during these final negotiations, told him he couldn't handle that full load. And some of the owners got quite upset with Kroenke. And, everybody was, but the thing about it, when Kroenke made that move out there, this is where Jerry Jones comes into this. Jerry Jones re-engineered that whole deal because it was supposed to be the Chargers and the Raiders going. I mean, the Chargers and the Raiders going to Los Angeles. But Jerry came back and redone the deal, and the Rams became the major tenant holder out there because Kroenke, when he built SoFi Stadium, built the NFL a whole new communication center and everything out there on the same lot. And basically put about $30+ million in the owner's pocket just on that deal. But yet the owners got a little bit upset when Kroenke said he wasn't going to pay that. He couldn't pay that whole $800 and some million settlement. Your thoughts, gentlemen?
Well, he shouldn't have to because they all voted it. So
yeah,
I say they all should be paying St. Louis. I agree with Kroenke.
Yeah, I agree.
24 out of 32 owners had to approve for him to move. He just can't move on his own.
Right.
And Jerry Jones and the money team, I call them Jerry Jones and the money team, circumvented, like you said, the committee's recommendation. The committee's recommendation recommended that the Raiders and the Chargers play at the Carson site.
Right.
And that's where they were going to build a new stadium.
Correct.
Jerry Jones and the money team got together, circumvented that, and the vote was 31-1. And all of them are responsible to me for that money. And I agree with Kroenke. He shouldn't have to pay it all himself.
Okay. Question for you guys. As we get ready to wrap this up, and I cannot appreciate you, the dynamic duo, folks. Radman, the Mighty Oba, Pro Talk Plus on every Saturday morning, 105.5 The Beat in Rochester, New York. These two gentlemen, and plus, one is dealing in cryptocurrency, the other is dealing in God We Trust. So yeah. I'm gonna see which one gonna still be smiling at the end. But hey guys, as we get toward the end, what your thoughts as to and Mighty Oba, I'm gonna run this one back to you. And I've been keeping up with the situation with the stadium situation up there in Western New York. Can you bring us up to date? Give us, I know you intimately been involved because you and I, when I was up there, we had a nice long conversation about it. Can you sort of bring us up to date on, will the fans gonna have to pay for this stadium, or is this gonna be privately funded? What's the deal? What's going on?
Fans are paying for all of it.
What?
If they build that stadium, it's going to be mostly publicly funded. It'll be the largest publicly funded stadium in the history of the NFL. And that's going to be right here because of bad leadership. They killed the private deal. They had a private deal that was on the table in 2012. But bad politics, bad leadership destroyed that opportunity. And that's why you are where you are. Now, they're either going to do it and it gets approved. It still has to be approved by the state legislature and the NFL, and it might not fly there. Because, see, this is the thing people got to realize very quickly. The stadium is going to cost you $1.4 billion, an additional $400 million in infrastructure. And then you're talking about a 25-year lease with about $60 million a year in subsidy. If you put that together, this becomes an over $3 billion publicly funded lease agreement. So it's more than just the stadium you're dealing with. You also have to fund all the fringe benefits that they've been funding with taxpayer money that goes along with the lease. And that's what your problem is.
Let me ask this question. All right, a $3 billion stadium right there, if it goes through, is there a roof going to be put on this place?
No. The stadium is only 1.4. It's open air, but the lease agreement is going to be an additional $1.5, $1.4 billion. So you're talking about a package now of close to $3 billion just to keep the team there. Now, if that's approved, then it'll be a crazy publicly funded package that I've never heard of. There's a problem with that getting approved. It could be rejected, and that team could move. See, that's what you're up against.
Is it all right? Does this have to be publicly? You said the legislature, but will this come to the voters?
The legislature has to approve it. I don't know it. I don't think it has to go to a referendum. But the state assembly and the state senate, because the state is a major funding source, would have to approve it also. They might reject it. And then the NFL has to approve it because they're going to look at it to say, hey, we're still not making enough money. You need to move. You go to Toronto, you're going to make more money. So you still got problems. Even if they approve it, it could be thrown out.
Thank you for bringing that up, because that was my next question, man. Are you guys going to have to start driving over to Toronto to start covering the Bills?
No, I got 80-inch TV. I ain't going nowhere.
Yeah. I got a 70-inch right now. That HD is better than most press box in the country.
It's retirement time, man.
HD is something else, man. Oh my gosh, you can see everything from that 70 and 80-inch HD TVs. AD. So we're getting close to retirement. They go to Toronto. We'll probably go up there a few times, but hey, that'll be hasta la vista.
Hey guys,
they're facing a lot. AD. It's okay. Not, even if they come to an agreement, it doesn't mean it gets done.
Okay.
No, the numbers, the NFL could still say, hey, we're not making enough money. Mm-hmm. It's an open air stadium. And see, that was the difference with the private deal. Private deal was a closed air stadium. You use it year round. You give the NFL and the team a percentage of the year round events.
Right.
That's how you made more revenue.
Right.
This plan doesn't include that. It's absolutely ludicrous, to tell you the truth, of why you want to have an open air stadium in Buffalo, of all places. Orchard Park, really. Let's not say Buffalo.
Right. Hey guys. I guess. Well, I tell you what. When do y'all get to Los Angeles? When are y'all hearing that thing?
February 6th.
February 6th.
Okay. I'll be out there later. You know.
When you come in Thursday?
I'm Thursday morning or Wednesday afternoon. One of the two.
Okay.
Thursday morning or Wednesday afternoon. But hey guys, we you know what? From the bottom of my heart, guys, both of y'all, I really appreciate it, guys, for coming on, because like I said, it's and Mighty Oba, and I still got your book here. We gonna do that one for the book. Because it'll be by time for you to come out with the second volume, right?
Well, if we don't do a show before, I'll be coming out with the second volume. I'm working on that now, man. Oh. I gotta get the first one sold a little bit.
Okay,
it's not helping, man. It's not helping. I just don't. You can't do the book signings like you normally would.
Right.
Over the place,
Yeah, COVID. Hey guys, wrapping up. Radman, anything as we wrap this puppy up, man?
Yeah, the playoffs are going to be exciting in both conferences with these extra teams. I see Buffalo winning against the Raiders or the the Raiders or the Chargers. And I also see them getting by KC. If they get KC in the second round and then get Tennessee, they can beat KC and then get Tennessee in the final, or it could be an upset. Tennessee, I think, is questionable, but still, Buffalo and Tennessee, I can see them. Hey, they got a chance to make it all the way this year, to get to the championship, to get to the Super Bowl, get back there since the 90s. I think it can happen. Look, everybody's excited about the playoffs. I know you're excited about Deshaun Watson and the changes going to be made down there in Houston. So we look forward to seeing you out there. We're going to be broadcasting live each day out in L.A. and Commerce, California. So we look forward to having you on the show out there, AD, once you get into SoCal.
We will do. Mighty Oba.
Yes, sir.
Closing comments, sir.
Looking forward to it. Hey, Buffalo Bills have a very good chance, like the Radman said, of getting back to the Super Bowl. I think they're the most balanced team left. I just question their offensive coordinators' just play selection. So,
okay, hey guys,
defensively, best defensive coordinator.
Yeah, this is probably more the heart as opposed to the head. If the Steelers get there, I think the Steelers could be the dog horse.
Sure could. They can beat the Bills.
Yeah.
They've already beat the Bills.
Yeah. I'm just saying, if it's just something about them now. You know how things sort of ebb and flow. You just sort of see certain things, how karma can just sort of sit there and will this way. And me, I've always been a Mike Tomlin guy, and it's just it's something about Tomlin. If he gets to the playoffs, to me, that's the one team I don't think, at least coming out the AFC, I don't think nobody wants to see.
No, he took over the defense today, AD.
Yeah.
He called the defense today.
Ooh.
Did a heck of a job. Yeah.
Hey guys,
he called the defense today.
I appreciate you. Looking forward to seeing you. We will be in touch. Hey man,
Gardner, how about those Knicks? They coming out.
Chris.
Man.
Yeah, Chris, the Knicks showing up. They showing up. The Knicks showing up. They represent East Coast.
You brought him out.
The Knicks. All right. Well, Knicks and the Rockets, two teams who don't know how to play defense, but okay.
They fun to watch. Watch right now. Keep an eye on them both.
Hey guys, I appreciate it. Looking forward to seeing you down in SoCal, guys.
All right,
take care. Hey man, have a good one, guys. Be in touch, man. Take care.
Deuces.
You too.
Deuces, man. Take care, guys.
All righty.
Well, Mr. Gardner, you got called out. You got called out by Pro Talk Plus. I thought you was a Detroit. I don't know. Did you say something about the Knicks on one of their programs? You got called out. I don't know what you said.
Because the Knicks have underachieved all season, like I said they would. So that's all. I've been on. You and I both been on Pro Talk Plus on Saturday in Rochester.
Right.
So Pat ourselves on the back for that, because Houston Roundbar Review, AD Max Korner is not just local,
right?
National and global. And I'm going to say it here on the air. Mr. AD Moore got approved for a credential to cover the Super Bowl in Los Angeles under the Houston Roundbar Review umbrella as I branch out. And this is a salute to Mr. Max Edison. May he rest in peace. The plan is coming together, sir. Slowly but surely. The plan is coming together.
Yeah, I will be heading that direction in physical form, Max with spirit, and we'll back at the big sombrero, the big game, folks, and you'll be, like I said, we got some things in surprising just to getting back out there, getting back in the big thing and the big dance, and we're gonna throw some things out there. We were working on some things. Mr. Gardner, as always, appreciate you. I mean, like I said, you got to deserve a big congratulations, man. Because I have to sort of go back and tell the NFL, y'all need to go back and this is not just no fly by night. You need to look at the credentials on that website again. And so, in great hindsight, they had their eyes open and they got refocused, and to their benefit and to their credit. And with some nice long persuasive talk and email, they saw the error of their ways. But I appreciate that. We're good at it.
Yeah, but it's also kudos to your previous history as the defender and the work you and Max did there as well. So it all works together. It's all part of the plan, sir. So 2022, this year, bigger and better things. And that upper right corner, sponsor our show.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, we're gonna get it done.
The corner, the round ball, it's up there. I mean, folks that want it, we're looking for it. And if somebody wants to put it up in that corner when we get out to Los Angeles for the Super Bowl, it's up there. It's up for sale.
And Super Bowl for you, we'll be in the Final Four. Big events, Houston Round-Bar Review. Branching out, sir.
That's it. Mr. Gardner, as always, did the Rockets win or where are they now?
They're losing by 25 points now at halftime, sir. So yeah. Next, give up 75 points to Minnesota in the first half. So yeah.
Jeez. Okay. Well, I tell you what, let me get on to Sunday Night Football because that's a contest tied up there. As always, man, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, this is your man, Adolphus AD Moore, wishing you nothing but the best. And as I get ready to close it down, I'm just telling you, deuces. And I appreciate you, love you. Hey, the ones that like it, fine. The ones don't like it, I still want to hear from you, whatever as the case might be. And ciao, we out of here, guys. And until next week, we'll be at the NFL. The NFL playoffs are coming up. Just stay tuned because we're gonna just trying to keep bringing on some new guests, new surprises. We're doing some things that we think that you're going to want to like and hear. So without further ado, I'm out of here. I'm gone. See you. Deuce. Ciao. Again. We out of here.